Figure out which screen I want to look at. This is a whole mess
Hello,
now.
heroes. Welcome back. It took a lot. There's a lot of they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And that's right. It's really hard to do that. And you should give up on the elderly. Just they're not going to learn new things. Send them all to carousel. Me at the front of the line, please get rid of me. We are here to do some booster box commander. Now, when I say that, you might go, oh, you mean the official rules for it? No, because John just described them to me and they sounded distasteful and I don't like that.
Yeah, they bad.
So let's actually just have a quick rap sesh between us. Oh, I have to banish my air conditioner. Hold on one moment.
Oh no. Oh,
I like to
dear
think that that's a
doctors.
guy. That he has like a guy there who's his air conditioner.
You get out of here, air conditioner.
Be gone. Very good, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the classic Chicago accent.
Has been well conditioned.
Yeah. So a quick thought between us of what we want for our version of this format. I was kind of attached to the idea of a singleton format, and I liked the 60 cards because I think it would be an easier thing to hit than 100 cards for, what we're getting from the packs. But
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine to sort of split the difference between the two because the baseline idea of like Magic's official use a booster box and create a sealed commander deck is 60 card, doesn't have to be singleton. Your commander can be whatever color, and then you can include anything in the deck, so the actual commander colors don't matter. I was
Oh, I
just
don't like that.
this is bad. This isn't commander anymore. It's just
yeah.
bigger sealed deck.
I don't like that because ultimately what I want when I'm done with this is a commander deck that I can parade around and be like, look, I made this one in a goofy way and not some pile of cards that is not a commander deck.
well, I mean, this is like I can understand that. I think my goal would be this is something that I could build into a real commander deck. I still think doing 60 cards is a good idea. That is kind of left over from my sensibilities of doing regular booster drafts of let's get smaller decks so that we have a more confined space to build into. I think that would serve us here because otherwise I feel like we're all going to be putting a lot of cruft into these decks.
Well, yes, but that is part of the charm for me. Like the whole idea behind the booster box making a commander deck for me is that I'm one of those people that, controversial take number one, I said I was going to do them. CEDH sucks shit and it's for losers and idiots, and I'm glad that it exists so that I can quarantine those people. I want my commander experience to be a fun, casual nonsense thing. And, basically in the new bracket commander system that Magic has, I'm like, I love bracket 1, I love bracket 3. Like those are the best places for me because bracket 1's like, here's the dumb thing. I made a deck all about like shoes and that's the whole theme and it is crap. Or you do bracket 3 where you're like, I've got some power, it's got cohesion, but I haven't sacrificed everything on the altar of being able to win a commander game on turn 3.
Sure.
And I'll have some hot takes too. Here are my hot takes. I wasn't supposed to be here tonight. I'm very sick. So if you see me with Kleenex, you're just going to have to deal with it. My actual plan for tonight was to eat edibles and take NyQuil and play Stardew Valley until I fucked up so bad I had to reset a day and then go to bed.
You could have told me that you were sick.
Nope, I'm too much of a team player. I heard that Tracy needed support, and I'm here to help, so you're going to have to deal with it. I'm just letting people know that if they see me with Kleenex, that's fine. The other thing that means is I don't have a box of booster cards, so please welcome MTG at dot whatever this is that can generate random booster packs.
Well, they can't see that yet.
Okay.
But so yeah, to talk about what we want for the format, or at least, everybody bless Jef in the chat. I think it's a shame that myself and Dylan are the only people in the network that like him. But
Dylan only contractually.
That does
only
include
contractually.
me.
Yeah.
I think I'm attached to the idea of let's keep Commander's color identity as a rule. I think that's kind of non-negotiable because otherwise it's not Commander. I think let's make the call on the size of the deck we're building once we've opened our cards and it's kind of obvious how easy or difficult things are going to be.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Having used the site that we are using, because we do not have physical boxes to open, I've generated boxes of cards to pull from before on here. And if you're doing, I would say, like 3-color, you usually end up somewhere between like 90 to 115 cards of any given one color. So being able to select, if you do tricolor, between like 360 cards to pare down to a singleton deck is not bad, especially when you consider that like 30 something of those cards in your 100 card deck will just be lands anyway.
Sure. Well, I mean, 24, right? It's that's right.
If you're doing
60.
100 card.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we'll make that call later on, but we all kind of know the score otherwise, which means I think it's time for us to start cracking some packs here. So
now I would like to throw open to those in the chat, what set should I draft from? Anything from Ravnica Remastered and before. So pretty much Wilds of Eldraine and before, really, for main sets. So none of the like Thunder Junction or Final Fantasy or anything, but something pre that I could go from. Also try to keep it to a main set and not an expansion set, because that's usually a difference of about 100 cards to pull from in the pool.
Also, stuff like Commander Masters, where it's got like 1,000 cards, is probably not the best choice.
I mean, doing Commander Masters is probably one of the better choices, because then you're like, everything I have is just Commander related.
it's at least set up for Commander.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jeff, have you like decided on a set that you want, or do you want suggestions from the chat as well?
I'm happy to take them. In fact, I'm talking to the chat right now. I'm kind of leaning towards Neon Kamigawa or Strixhaven because I missed both and feel bad that I missed both.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. Well, I will start opening my first pack here, and we'll let the chat fill in on what everybody else is going to be looking at for theirs.
Ah, yes, Apocalypse. I should definitely go back to 2001 for my set.
Apocalypse sucks so bad. God, I hate that whole block.
I honestly love the idea of y'all doing something that is like one of the older powerful sets that did not have Commander in mind.
Well, like I was saying, I was considering going back to a favorite of mine, which is Lorwyn. But it is so hard to do here because your list of it doesn't really have the rarity spread the same way that a modern set does.
No.
Your legend list is weird, and I might end up with like a Gaddock Teeg, which is, I love Gaddock Teeg, but boy oh boy, do people not like it when I play my Gaddock Teeg deck.
It's my first time seeing the suplex card. I love that it's
God,
running
it's
at
so
the
good.
train. That's I've been so like blissfully happy with the Final Fantasy set.
What set has the most slivers?
Well, you can go do Original Tempest block. What if I draft from Portal 3 Kingdoms?
Oh, dude. So much horsemanship. I'm going to go with Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. I missed the set, and I like a lot of the stuff that's in it.
Ooh, I could do Garland. Do love that.
Love it.
I've got an ew for my spirit
boy.
My spirit buddy in the chat. Russ is an old friend of the show. He was on like episode 5.
All right, so that is my first pack, folks. Pretty excited to see Garland. I would, that's a strong contender. But the other potential commanders I have here are Hope, which is from a Final Fantasy that I did not play, and Omega Heartless Evolution. Wait a minute, is that a Kingdom Hearts thing? That can't be. That can't be.
No, Omega
Is that
Omega is a Final Fantasy 14, and I think a Final Fantasy tactics thing.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank God. I could not stand that creeping into this. Not that Disney would ever allow it. So that's me. Who has decided on their set between Jef and Jon?
Like I said, I'm going to be going with the Neon Dynasty Kamigawa. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
And I will take the suggestion from chat to do Streets of New Capenna.
Okay. I then we're going to go to Jon first. Jon, you're up. This is the website that they're using. Feel free to highlight any interesting pulls in there.
Great. So this is my first pack in there. My rare is Cut Your Losses. A little expensive. But target player mills half their library rounded down. Very funny for Commander. Like that. I've got... The one nice thing about New Capenna is it's got that whole guilds with the triple color, so it's a lot easier to play into a 3-color set. And I've got just a grip of lands in here, so if I wanted to do white, green, black, red, or red, green, I've got those open for me. Social Climber. I could get some life gain going. Or I could really go into the Riveteers clan and just do the whole Union guys.
I do love
who doesn't
that.
love that. Yeah, I mean, doing a Union job is great. Yeah. No, this is interesting. I could work with some of these. I do like... The only problem with doing the Union one is it doesn't have black in it, and I am a huge slut for including black in my decks, so...
Arnie Niekamp. That's the person who plays none other than Arnie Niekamp on Hello from the Magic Tavern. Arnie, it's been a million years. Hello. I mean, Jon, like what are your feelings on this pack now that you've seen it? Is it a good pull so far? Or?
I mean, no legendaries or anything yet. I think my rare wasn't particularly amazing. But you know, Cut Your Losses is very funny though if I wanted to go into it, but we'll see. We'll see what I can do.
See. The night is young. I'm going to move over to Jef now. Jef, let's crack that first pack. What
I've got it on screen.
Us?
So like I was saying earlier, I am taking a look at Neon Kamigawa. God, I really love look at that full art planes. That thing is gorgeous.
Yeah, the art in that set was very pretty.
Yeah, so we've got a saga, we've got Michiko's Reign of Truth, a couple of shrines in there. I kind of like the shrine stuff where each thing is becoming they're in the uncommon. So I've got multiple shrine options in white and black. My rare is Invoke Justice, which is a big ol' sorcery, but it costs 4 whites, so that's really kind of defining your library early for an early pick.
All right, so yeah, not bad. I mean, the thing that I think that the art in Jeff's set, I am kind of envious of.
Neon Kamigawa is gorgeous. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this.
I'm gonna move. Or actually, Jeff, how are you feeling thus far?
Oh, I mean, I'm feeling good. I'm probably going to go with I like weenie decks, so I might be going for Goshen Tie of Shared Purpose for my starting draw.
It's so interesting that Jon is a slut for black and you're after white weenie.
Well, I mean, technically, I'm really more of a Naya or Izzet slut. Like those are my two deck choices, given the choice.
Sure.
I mean, there's a stack of command. You probably can see them behind me. There's 14 or so commander boxes back there, and I would say of those, 4 of them are Izzet, just flat out. I can't get enough chaos decks.
Yeah, I mean that is fun. I can understand that.
Yeah. That's almost why I picked Strixhaven, because of Zephi Thunder Conductor in that set.
Let's see here. I'm trying to find a way. I was not pleased with the open on the pack. When I opened the like dragon set that came out recently, those packs opened so easily. I was like, oh, they really made it so that there's no way to damage the cards. That's great. No, the Final Fantasy set, I was afraid I was going to bend my cards.
Okay, so I have a question, because, and you're not allowed to get mad at me because I'm a big dumb baby. This isn't a draft, right? Like, I'm not picking one card from this set. I'm brewing with every card in
you're
this
going
entire
with whatever
giant
you
pile.
want. Yeah.
No, this is
Okay,
sealed.
cool. Yeah, all right. But there's all kinds of great stuff here. I feel really good.
All right.
Man, I'm gonna feel so bad if I have to draft blue.
Commune with beavers, I love.
I mean, honestly, all of
Hey,
the
who doesn't?
uncommons in this opening pack are Orzhov. They're all white or black. That's so. If these
Ooh,
trends continue,
very pretty Clive.
oh, that's gorgeous. Where's my Moxfield set so I can start piling this stuff in? Here we go.
Ooh, the Emperor as well. Another bust, but ooh, that land is really pretty.
Hmm.
To the side.
Always love those full art lands.
Yeah, I did get a couple different options for commanders here. Clive or Garland could go in each other's decks, which is great. I've got the Emperor, who is one of the few commanders that I haven't gotten a chance to read here, and Black Waltz #3, again, another character from a Final Fantasy that I've yet to play.
Who was that Kamigawa motorcycle rat? Just in case I feel like bringing in a ringer from outside via the rules.
I don't know. Was he the biker mouse from Mars?
Oh, it'll be fine. It was important to one of the people in chat, my buddy Russ, so I'm sure he will pop in any second. Greasefang. See, there you go.
All right. We're going to move down to John. John, what have you got for us here?
Well, unfortunately, my second pack is also pretty heavy in the blue. So I've got my first legendary, though it is an uncommon, but I've got a couple very nice. I love the little Art Deco borders that they do for the cards in this set, but I got a few in the, what is that, Bant? And then I've got the Grixis Maestro's Charm, so I've got a lot of blue going on. I'm probably going to end up in one of the guilds with blue in it. But yeah, again, my rare just being putting a thing either on top or bottom of the library. Not the most amazing, but definitely fun, either for being able to do recursion or semi-removal, so that's fine. I enjoyed that. Lagrella the Magpie.
There's the chat loves Lagrella.
Yeah, it's like a legendary O-ring for everybody.
It's
You
no constricting
got to prevent
sliver.
leakage, so that's important. We'll move on to Jeff here.
Sure. Here's mine. The second pack of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. We've got some fun vehicles. My rare is the Kami of Transcendence. Moving me over into green if I wanted to take some of this stuff from this, because you've also got the Kappa Tech Wrecker down here, the Go Shintai of Ancient Wars. A lot of red and green in the final here.
All right.
Still nothing that I can use as a commander.
Troubling. I mean, that shows the difference between like older Magic and modern Magic. As I'm tripping over them right now.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but how old is Neon Dynasty? It's what, like from 2019?
Oh,
Or no, it's way
fairly
more
new.
than that. Yeah, we'll get something. 2019. God, time goes too fast.
It truly, truly does.
I'm pretty sure this is from 2023. Yeah, I honestly don't see much I'm going to desperately want here unless something big changes. But it looks neat.
Oh, another potential commander, Sid.
Oh,
Very exciting.
which one?
Uh,
What's
this
a
is
timeless
Timeless
artificer?
Artificer. Yeah.
They're all timeless artificer. But the question is, which Sid is it anyway?
Oh, sure, 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 sure.
Show me the picture. Can you put it up on screen for a second? Your Sid.
There you go.
I think that's the Final Fantasy 16 Sid. If only because I'm not immediately familiar with them and I've never gotten around to that game.
All right. Ooh. I got Shiva as a holo. That's nice. And a dual land. Do love to see that. So not overwhelming. Most importantly, none of this is putting my child through college, which is the great disappointment here. But we're only a couple packs in. We'll move over to John here.
Yeah, pack number 3, I'd like a lot more. Love to see a suspicious bookcase. Great for commander. Also, witness protection is one of my favorite cards from this set, where you enchant a creature and it just becomes a 1/1 green-white citizen named legitimate business person.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
fucking love that card so much. I also got the green, white, blue that can turn one of my lands into a tri-land until I decide to play them from exile. So it's honestly looking like I might be going Bant. And I got the Sanctuary Warden, so I've got one of my high rares in white as well. So yeah, damn it, I'm gonna have to play blue.
Oh, and to answer the chat earlier, yeah, I did pull Adventurer's Airship. So that is indeed a skyship. But
I mean, you
in
don't
Final
have to go
Fantasy,
blue.
they're
This is
airships.
this is pack 3 of 36.
Oh, it's pack 3 of 36, so I don't have to. But so far,
You're gonna have to.
I'm gonna.
We're going to
have
force you. Mostly because this is going to get boring right around pack 9 of 36. So we'll stop.
All right. We're going over to Jeff now. I hope if I can. Yep.
I think the most exciting thing I'm seeing in here is definitely the rare March of Burgeoning Life, which is an instant that's X and green for. It's got exile any number of green cards from your hand to reduce the cost of the X by 2, and then it is a tutor that goes directly to field.
Oh,
creature.
that is nice. That is very nice.
So choose target creature with mana value less than X, search your library for a creature card with the same name as that creature, put it on the battlefield tapped and shuffle. I mean, that is, in Singleton Commander, that is a beautiful way to get your best cards into the field right away. So it's pushing me towards green.
All right. And then I'm back around.
Exactly like Green Sun Zenith, yeah.
Okay. Nope, that's also. Come on. I don't want to damage the cards, Magic. All right.
Bunch of modified stuff in here too, which is fun. I like modify. Love the Merge Keeper.
Sabo Tender.
Ooh,
Hey.
second commune with beavers. Another ice flan.
Oh, guy. He speaks the language of beavers.
Ooh, Monk's Fist. Elixir. Random encounter. Magitech armor. Ooh. Ooh, Midgar.
Ooh.
That's a fun land.
love that.
And who doesn't love Blitzball?
Everybody loves Blitzball.
All right. I'm going to move things down to Jeff.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure.
No, to John, rather. I'm sorry.
All right, there you go.
I forgot the sequence.
Yeah, sadly, this pack, as I just was like, oh, I'm going to have to do blue, there's no blue in it. It has one tricolor blue card and then otherwise completely lacking from it. I did get a white-green dual land. I mean, tap comes into play tapped, but, got some white removal. I got a little bit of stuff, but again, my rare Park Heights Pegasus, not particularly amazing to me. So I haven't really hit on anything yet that I'm like, ooh, that's a big bomb or something I'm going to really be doing a lot with outside of the that one legendary I've pulled that's an uncommon that I was like, ooh, that's nice. But
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for a legend to come along and inspire me. Like if I saw like Ishin Two Heavens as one, or what was the one that what's the Toad Rider in this set? Tatsunari. I just think she's great.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm essentially going to be going purely off of emotions. I have no sense for this set yet. When I get a legendary that's a Final Fantasy character that I love, I'm going to try and make that work to the detriment of my ability to play the game.
And by the same token, because you're probably going to come to me now, there's no commander here, but there is some neat stuff.
What do you got?
Well, the rare is Mukatai Soul Ripper, which is a one black for a vehicle, a 4/3 vehicle with crew of 2, and whenever it attacks, you may sacrifice another artifact or creature. If you do, you put a 1/1 counter on Mukatai Soul Ripper, and it gains menace until end of turn. I also love Reinforced Ronin. That's one of my favorite one drops in Forever. It's red for a haste 2/2, but at the beginning of your end step, you return it to its owner's hand.
Oh, that's neat.
And then you can channel it for 1 in red to discard it and draw another card. So if you get it as an early drop, you can use it to pressure people right away. Just ping them for 2 over and over again. And then when it starts to lose its usefulness, because you don't need to cast 1-drop bolts, you just trade it for a card.
Yeah, that's cool. That is
Yeah.
very cool. All right.
I don't know how good it is in Commander, but it's got to be really good in like regular sealed or whatever, modern. I'm going to find out it sucks. Someone in the chat's going to tell me it sucks.
Hey, it sucks and you suck.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got my next pack here. Another Black Mage's Rod here.
Ooh.
I'm getting a pretty good color spread, which I like.
it's good.
Ooh, Reno
I
and
like
Rude.
that. So rude.
Genova. I could play Genova. That would be fun.
Ooh,
Another dual land.
finally.
Love to
Get
see
that
it.
alien commander we've all been hoping for so we can build that alien typal deck.
I'm going to pass things over to John.
Great. Another pack where I'm not like super jazzed about anything. I do like Cut of the Prophets, obviously. Any sack life for draw cards is going to be nice. The ability to do a little bit of looting with the Hypnotic Grifter's okay. If I was going into getting a lot of tokens on things, then I could use the exotic pets to get, some more guys, put some counters on them. But nothing in here is particularly amazing. though, I do like a sewer crocodile just to be able to be unblockable. I mean, given that I've got a suspicious bookcase, I may as well just go for it. And I've got another counterspell, so, screw it. I'll go all blue and just be an asshole about it.
All right. And Jeff.
Oh baby, I got my first potential commander here,
Ooh.
and it's one I mentioned earlier, a favorite of mine, Tatsunari Toad Rider. She is Sultai. Although she only costs 2 in black to cast, she has a activated ability that costs 1 in hybrid symbol blue-green.
Now, for the turbo nerds of us who are not Magic the Gathering turbo nerds, what color identity would that be?
Sultai is black, blue, green.
Black, blue, green. Okay.
So black, blue, green. She's 2 in black, and she's a 3/3 legendary human ninja. With whenever you cast an enchantment spell, if you don't control a creature named Kami, create Kami, a legendary 3/3 black and green frog creature token. With whenever you cast an enchantment spell, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life.
Oh, that's cool.
And then also for 1 and hybrid blue-green, you Tatsunari Toad Rider and target frog you control can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with flying or reach.
Wow. That's actually very, very fun.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun.
All right.
So that's a strong contender right away, especially because I've seen a lot of good black and green already.
That's coming apart the way I want. Excellent. Food token. All right. Another Chocobo Mog. Ooh, another potential commander. Yet another potential commander, one of my favorites, Ultros.
Oh, love Ultros.
Yeah. Ultros.
Sorry, I had to get off the stream and go play Final Fantasy VI again real quick.
Yeah. Especially Obnoxious Octopus is a great title.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Youch.
Omega
Seafood soup.
Evolution. That is pretty. All right. So that is blue. I have not decided what to do with. Well, I guess that's a lead. Oh, it is an artifact creature. Okay, so it would work. And we got Cerberus and Chocobo Kick. All right. Not fully blown away, but I truly don't know the value of anything in this set yet. All right, John, we're up to you.
Great. I mean, once again, also not particularly blown away by anything yet. I've yet to really, I mean, obviously, I haven't gotten a rare or better commander option out of the packs. And I've managed to get, like, all of the guys that you can exile to make a land into a tri-land at this point. And nothing has been so compelling that I've been like, yeah, that's definitely the guild that I want to go with. Like, my rare in this one is a Jund one. And I'm like, Jund's nice, but Unleash the Inferno is good. Getting a 2-for-1 on the card plate, not bad. So that's nice. But not a whole lot in the pack that I'm like, ooh, yeah. That's going to make me do a thing.
Yeah, nothing exciting the imagination yet.
Nothing has really sparked anything for me yet.
All right, we're going down to Jeff, who has navigated away from the website.
I apologize. I was busy exporting all of the cards from all of the sets into Moxfield so I can clean them up later. Anyway, to get back to it, there was at least one cool card I saw when I was looking through this earlier, which is that there's another rare commander slot option here in Satoru Umezawa.
Ooh.
He's a legendary human ninja that's 1 blue-black. For whenever you activate a ninjutsu ability, you can look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. And it only happens once a turn. And also, just to really sweeten that pot, Every creature card in your hand has ninjutsu for 2 blue-black.
That's cool.
And if you remember what ninjutsu is, it's anytime you can replace an unblocked attacking creature with a creature from your hand for its ninjutsu cost.
God, I remember that. I was so annoyed by that mechanic. All right.
And that I got to point out that is in color profile. If we wanted to run Tatsunari, this character could easily be in my 99.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah. Excuse me. Ooh, I'm going to mute myself.
Oh, yeah. Fat Chocobo, baby.
Everybody loves Fat Chocobo.
Everybody truly loves Fat Chocobo.
I mean, I have the Fat Chocobo mount in FF14, so.
Okay.
Ooh. Vain.
I am back, and I am no longer choking on my own grossness.
Well, aren't you lucky?
Yes. And I'm very smooth now.
So smooth.
Ooh, another airship, the cargo ship.
Love some
Ooh.
airships.
Here's a rare commander. Has Katzroy, another Final Fantasy that I have not played.
Mm-hmm.
What was that name again?
Saz Katzroy.
Oh, okay, from 13.
Ooh, Summon Leviathan. Cool.
Nice.
And another dual land there. I'm pretty pleased with that. That's a couple rare commanders. So my potential grows ever further. Even if one of them is some guy that I've never heard of. Let's move on to John.
Love that. Well, we're back to a pretty blue-heavy pack in this, including the Ledger Shredder, which is great. Everyone loves a Ledger Shredder. Being able to connive when anybody casts a second spell for the turn. Just nice. Good way to dig. Love him. He's great. I also just love Prize Fight. Being able to have 2 creatures fight, and then also I get a treasure token. Again, just like the whole legitimate businessman thing. I'm like,
Sure.
I just enjoy the flavor of this. It's very nice.
It's great when things are thematic. Jeff?
Do love it.
Well, I've got another commander option here, and it's one of the best from this set, as far as I'm aware, which is Ishin Two Heavens is 1.
Ooh.
He essentially just costs Mardu, which, again, for the non-magic initiated is red, white, black. He's a 3/4, and it's if a creature attacking would cause a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time, which is insanely good, but maybe not so much in a format like this where I can only use cards from these sets, because that's really the kind of ability that rewards digging through libraries and finding every triggered ability on attack. That said, very good.
That's fun.
I've also got Replication Specialist, who I like. Whenever a non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you can pay 1 in blue and create a token that's a copy of that artifact. I love that kind of thing. And Iron Apprentice, which is just perfect if you happen to be building an old Atraxa deck. Just one of those things which is like, if you have tokens, get more tokens. Or counters. Get more counters.
Yeah, I think I would be afraid of that card if we were doing straight up regular commander.
Ishin? Yeah, you absolutely should be.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as Ishin comes down, you start seeing stuff like the Strionic Resonator or whatever also coming down. You're like, oh, I know what this deck does.
Crossroads Village. The Gold Saucer.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Fang. That's right. I moved the commanders over there. Ooh, a mythic rare commander or whatever they fucking call it.
Oh, Emmett Selch.
Emmett Selch.
Or Selk, whatever.
Oh, that guy, Emmett Selk. He rules.
Hades, sorcerer of Eld. Yeah,
What a jagoff.
He's the only one of the Asians I bother remembering. He's great.
that's a real contender there.
Yeah.
A pretty self-destruct and a mountain. Yeah, so a pretty good pull for me, I imagine. I'll have to sit down and take some time with it. We'll move over to John.
Right. Another sort of standard pack, though I did get a Mysterious Limousine, which I absolutely love as a card in the 99 if you're doing white. It's just, you exile something and then bring it back if you exile something else, or if the Mysterious Limousine leaves. So just people getting in and out of the car. Love that. And then also love the flavor on the expendable lackey of you can exile him from your graveyard to create a fish. And I'm just like, haha, do you get it?
That's great.
So, love that.
A quick update. Emmett Selch is pretty fucking cool.
Oh.
I'm into
Yeah,
that.
he
Although
rules.
I do think a pretty big risk in this particular format, but we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, Jeff, you.
I feel like
are-
I'm pretty much locked in on Tatsunari as my commander at this point, because this deck not only has the prophetic inclusion of the token of Kami, her frog, but also look over to the left, and what is that? Is that Tamio completed Sage?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yourself a
Completed
nice
Sage.
little Phyrexian Tameo.
In blue-green, which means it's in the color identity, and it's really good. I'm a fan of this. We've got +1 to tap a target artifact or creature, and it doesn't untap during the next untap step, and -X to exile something, and then from a graveyard or my graveyard, and then create a token that's a copy of it, where X is the cost. And the ult, which is never going to happen, but the ult is create a notebook, a legendary colorless artifact token with spells you cast cost 2 less to cast, and tap to draw a card.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those alts, man, they're so tempting and it makes them so disappointing.
Yeah. The only time I've ever seen them happen is if the commander has green in their color identity and I am running Doubling Season or Parallel Lives or something like that.
I've seen it happen. Tracy did one, but it was a deck that was only planeswalkers or primarily planeswalkers. So at a certain point, it's like, you can't keep up.
Yeah, the Super Friends. Yeah.
All right.
But between Tamio, Kami, Tatsunari, I'm moving directly into a Sultai frame of mind here.
You're really paranoid about the Cylons.
I don't get it.
You absolutely do. I listen to fucking Movie Mastery. I know that you know.
Battlestar. I don't know any Battlestar Galactica stuff. I mean, granted, I did know who played Sultai.
That's all you need.
Okay.
That's all you need.
I can name Michael Hogan on site.
Hey, that's a rare talent.
I mean, really on sound. He's got a really distinctive voice.
Yeah, love that guy.
Sorceress's schemes. Side quest raised a chocobo. Don't mind if I do.
Aw, how cute. That's adorable. And yeah, I agree with Russ in the chat. Corrupted Timio looks awesome. I can't wait to throw that into this build.
Siltskin Moogle Merchant.
Oh, Stiltskin. What's he from?
Potential commanders. And travel the overworld. And, ooh, another pretty land. All right.
Ooh.
I'll pass things over to John.
All right. Well, I have my first rare legendary creature, but it is mono white. And, Giada Font of Hope, not bad at
Ooh,
all.
yeah.
Great for an angel deck if you're doing mono white angels. Like, absolutely a decent choice for that. But, could possibly make its way into the 99 if I am doing Bant. I did get the Bant land from the set for the when it comes into play. Just sack it and go get one of the Bant lands. And then, not a ton else in this that's particularly doing amazing stuff.
Jeff,
I
are
do
you
like the
faring
Virtuoso,
any better?
though.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Like I was saying before, this is starting to build its way towards a Sultai deck, and the current pack I'm pulling is a ton of green and black in the uncommon and rare slots. We've got the rare being March of Wretched Sorrow, which is a good instant. As an additional cost to cast, you can exile black cards. So it's part of that cycle with the green card I mentioned earlier. And it costs 2 less for its X cost for each card exiled this way. And then it does X damage to target creature or planeswalker, and you gain X life.
Wow.
So it's a fireball that you can sort of exile from hand to convoke extra power into. But you can't go upside the nug on a player. It has to be to a creature or planeswalker.
Sure. So it's mostly defensive.
Yeah. But we're seeing a lot of character or creature drain here. Malicious Malfunction is a sorcery that's all creatures get -2/-2. We're getting Death Touch and Lifelink out of the Nezumi Prowler. So this is very much a sludge deck that we're starting to come towards. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm having a good time.
All right. I have cracked my pack. For the life of me, pacing wise, can't decide what's better. Opening the pack actually on the camera so people can see, or just getting it out of the way so that we can get to looking at the cards.
Mm-mm.
Scorpion Sentinel. Man, I have gotten so many Choco Mog summons. There's another White Mage Staff, another Magic Pot. Summon Primal Garuda. Diamond Weapon.
Ooh, hell yeah. Love Diamond Weapon.
Ether. Oh, there's another potential commander. Ruban.
Oh, I love Raban. I mean, I don't know what the card is. I love the NPC in Final Fantasy XIV.
Sure. And then we have Venet, which is another rare commander. Ooh, and can turn into a legendary god. Love that.
Sure can. She's another one of those Asian types.
Get that Hydaelyn shit.
Yep.
And Sephiroth's Intervention is
Sephiroth.
my hollow for that pull. And another dual land. Love to see it. Giving myself plenty of options there. We'll turn things over to John.
Well, I got a mythic Black Angel that turns damage I would take into milling myself for twice that much, so I don't know that that's going to be going into anything. Did get the Darling of the Masses for citizen buffing, and I did get a decent amount of citizen-based stuff in there, so the possibility that I go into a citizens-themed deck is at least on the table.
We love democracy.
We love democracy.
And Jeff?
This pack doesn't really seem like it's going to matter all that much for me in the big way. It's all red and white in the uncommon and rare. If I was building like a mono red, then Heiko Yamazaki, the general, might have been part of this. That said, there are a few commons here I don't mind seeing. Uncharted Haven is great mana fixing for this set. It's basically just choose a color. This produces mana of that color. Pretty straightforward. And Tomio's Safekeeping is a solid card, just an instant for hexproof and indestructible until end of turn for a permanent you control. And you gain 2 life. I mean, that's really good for green.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a filler pack. There's not much going on here. The rare is Ogre Head Helm, which is 1 in red for an artifact creature equipment ogre. Looks like it uses reconfigure to switch between being an equipment and being a creature. Seems kind of neat.
All right. We're going to move back over here. I've got the Miscedane Elder, Shinra Reinforcements, More fat chocobo. Love to see fat chocobo. Blitzball, baby.
Everybody loves Blitzball.
Ooh,
We've
Iron
established that.
Giant. Are there any characters named Hogarth in Final Fantasy?
Probably.
I was thinking it was very likely. Someone in the chat will know.
Someone will know.
Circle of Power. Ooh, Ishgard. Instant ramen. Hell yeah. That's a great holo. Another dual land and a bird token.
Hooray.
All right. Let's give it over to John.
Yeah. The current pack, I've got a couple decent things in the Naya set here. Again, going towards the whole citizen thing. If I wanted to lean towards white, green, red, I could do that. But I did also pull a few more of the connive things. So if I really wanted to go with a card draw connive set in Bant, I've got that option. So it's really kind of split in one of two ways at this point, it really looks like. But almost certainly white and green is going to be involved in some capacity.
Excellent. And Jeff?
Another kind of a filler pack. That said, there is a very interesting commander rare in here. Hinata Dawncrowned is a legendary Kirin spirit that costs 1 and, what is that, Jeskai? Blue, white, red?
Yeah.
Which is a 4/4 flying trample with spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each target. Spells your opponents cast cost 1 more to cast for each target.
Woof.
That is brutal.
I love it. How did this Phyrexian Praetor end up being a Kirin spirit? So that's neat. I mean, it would take a lot of thinking on how to make that work. You want a bunch of multi-target spells. It's very good for Commander. Like,
yeah,
if I was building for pod play, this would be an amazing card. I honestly am inspired to brew this thing, even without maybe not using it today.
And we're back over here. Rescue mission, Light of Judgment. Sephiroth returns. Giant Toad. Freya. Ooh, summon Fenrir.
Ooh. Got that rear.
Dion. Oh, Dion is a good one.
Dion these nuts.
Yeah, I liked Dion when I was checking out cards earlier. Laughing Mad. And another dual land. And, oh, that's just pretty. You know, the dumb little filler card in there looks pretty good.
Great. Love to see it.
John?
Well, got a titan of industry, which I, again, absolutely love thematically. Just a giant elemental building that is a 7/7 reach trample that gets to do 2 things of destroy an artifact or enchantment, gain 5 life, put a 4/4 into play, or put a shield counter on something. Just fun. Elegant Entourage, also giving out +1/+1 and trample to things whenever a creature enters the battlefield. So, if I was doing the whole make a whole bunch of citizens thing, I could hand out some buffs. So, entirely decent. Though, again, not really seeing anything in the way of legendaries yet.
Boy, we're about halfway through, too.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff? Jeff, I cannot hear you, and I don't know if that's just me.
No. Jeff has probably muted himself.
Hey, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
I'm sorry, my bad. I had to blow my nose. I didn't want anyone to have to deal with it. Okay,
Sure.
I'm back. Another copy of Tatsunari Toad Rider, and an unforgiving one, which I'd really like for the 99. It's a spirit with menace. It's a 2/3. And whenever it attacks, you take a target creature with mana value of X or less from your graveyard right back to the battlefield, where X is the number of modified creatures you control. I love this. It does kind of want me to do a modify sub theme, which means +1/+1 counters, enchantments, and equipment. Um, but if you can make it work, that's great because that's a lot of deck cycling. So that's going to pop right in.
Excellent. All right, I'm coming back up here. We are gonna crack this pack. Again, chat, let me know if you want these to be open beforehand or if you get some sort of perverse pleasure from watching them get opened. We've got Airship Crash, Retrieve the Esper, Obsidian Elder, or
Man, I could never be a pro streamer. There are so many friggin' windows you need to have open.
Honestly, you just need so many more monitors. Chat likes the knife. Okay.
Oh, love the knife.
Garnet, Princess of Alexandria.
A little Final Fantasy IX representation.
Side quest, card collection. Oh, the Buster Sword. Hell yeah. That's great.
I barely know her sword.
That can go in any deck. Fenrir. This time hollow. Okay. Yeah. Fairly good pulls there. The Buster Sword I'm extremely pleased with. Not even for Commander necessarily. Just generally, I'm glad that I got that one.
I'm just waiting for you to pull up a Sid Highwind because I've got a full Sid Highwind cosplay sitting next to me here. Dragon Con this year, baby.
Ooh. That's going to be great.
In my pack, I've got some more. Comes into the battlefield stuff. So again, really looking at that, doing Citizens and Getaway Car, so I can bounce one of my own cards to my hand so I can keep doing the comes into play and generates dudes stuff if I need to. So again, no no legendaries, but I at least am starting to get a theme-ish.
I'm glad you're coalescing around something. I feel like I've got a really even spread of colors, so I have no direction. I'm just going to pick the commander that I like and try and make it work. If John doesn't pull a commander, I believe the rule in official standing is that you get to pull it from a legendary within the set.
So the general idea was you would, or at least in the way they did it on Tellurian Academy when they did this, is you could pick any legendary from the whole set.
I like that, though it you know what? Yeah, it's unlikely that you wouldn't pull a legendary. Like there would be a legendary you couldn't use. So that is lucky enough that I feel like, yeah, you should be able to pull whatever you want from the set.
Oh, and for the person asking what a commander is, this is the commander format of Magic where you have one card that sits in something called the command zone that you can always cast. And each time it is removed from the battlefield, no matter how it gets removed from the battlefield, it goes back to the command zone.
Well,
if
you have
want
the option of sending it back to the command zone.
I got it. And when you would like to cast it again, each time that happens, it increases the cost of casting it again by 2, and that's cumulative. So 2, then 4, then 6. And every other card in Commander is singleton. You can, except for basic lands, you can have one of each other card in your 99 additional cards.
And yeah, depending on how illiterate in Magic you are, the reason the command zone is significant is you have to randomly pull cards from the deck. Being able to always reliably pull on a single card allows you to change the strategies that you can build around pretty significantly.
Yeah, effectively, it's a creature combo piece that is always going to be at least somewhat available to you.
And John, you are up. Or Jeff, I'm sorry.
Jeff.
No worries. I'm looking at some good stuff for my current build because I've got Awakened Awareness here because I was already talking about moving into an enchantment or modification sub-theme. Awakened Awareness is X blue blue to put a bunch of counters on target permanent. And as long as it's a creature, it has base power and toughness 1/1. So basically it turns any creature into whatever size you want it to be, but you have to pay to get it there. But also, look at Biting Palm Ninja. I love this for this build. 2 in black for a 3/3 human ninja with ninjutsu 2 in black. And enters the battlefield with a menace counter on it, which means it enters the battlefield modified. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you remove the menace counter from it. When you do, that player reveals their hand. And sorry, you can remove the menace counter from it. When you do, that player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it and exile that card.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is nasty.
So just in the singleton format, just in the 99, this guy's going to rule. He's got the ninjutsu cost to get him in fast and really screw with people, and it's his base cost to begin with.
Yeah,
Menace.
I already hate him.
Yeah. So Biting Palm Ninja definitely going in. I feel like this Tatsunari thing is starting to come together here.
I absolutely agree. All right. The knife returns.
Oh, and Patchwork Automaton is in there. It's got Ward 2. It's otherwise a 2-drop for a 1/1 isn't great, but it's got Ward 2, and whenever you cast any artifact spell, you put a 1/1 counter on it, which modifies it. So, yeah, I'm liking the way this is looking.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, Tella. Here we go.
Oh. Tella the Sage. And Russ, who, if I remember correctly, is a huge Final Fantasy IV man, is going to be super excited about Tella popping up.
Yeah, I remember when I was looking through the commanders earlier, Tella being pretty cool, so I'm excited about that. We'll go over to John. John, how's your hunt for legendaries?
No good. Still, my rare in this is, not bad. It's a Workshop War Chief, so a 5/3 trample that gives me 3 life, and then when it dies, I get a 4/4. So, it's useful. I do have a couple green things that generate treasure tokens, so that's nice. And again, some more stuff that cares about stuff coming into play. So, I'm really heavy in the green-white citizen nonsense at the moment.
Yeah, you've got the
wait.
Magpie in there. There's a legendary.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, that's like the 4th Magpie I've pulled.
Okay, well, that's a legend.
Yeah, I know, but it is not a rare legendary.
Sure.
Oh, an uncommon legendary. Perish the thought. You'll have to play Pauper.
I know. It's just so sad.
It's beneath you. I didn't realize that beggars were choosers, but I guess that's the rule.
Look,
I mean, when you're playing with fake
have
cards,
standards.
you can just make them up. Yeah. Oh, man, I am loving how this is coming together. My sub-theme of doing modification stuff is really paying off. We looking at me now? Yeah, we are.
Yep.
Okay. So you've got, in common, you've got Kato's Pursuit up here. Target player discards 2 cards. Ninjas and rogues you control gain menace until end of turn. So
Wow.
we already
Fuck.
we have a ton of you've got Prosperous Thief, who's a human ninja with ninjutsu 1 blue. And whenever one or more ninja or rogue creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. That's great. Stepping down here, Enormous Energy Blade. Equipped creature, I love this thing. It's a giant laser sword. Equipped creature gets +4/+0. Whenever it becomes attached to a creature, tap that creature and equip 2. So, I mean, you only want to use it on someone who's already attacked and is going to stay on the table for a little while, but it's another modification card in my color wheel that makes people big attackers. And then we've got in, for my rare slot, a green, which is great because I'm building for Sultai, the Kami of Transience, with a 2/2 trample with whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Kami of Transience, Kami. So another modifier. At the beginning of each end step, if an enchantment was put into your graveyard from the battlefield this turn, you return Kami of Transience from your graveyard to your hand. So she doesn't like to stay dead.
Who does?
Yeah. Now, you mentioned Kami of Transience. That's from the Street Fighter set.
Yeah. With the cannon spikes and all that.
All right.
Sadly, I don't think there's a Street Fighter Kami card. I think there was just like Ryu, Ken, Guile, Chun-Li.
I didn't look. That was when I was like definitely taking my break from Magic. That and the Godzilla set nearly reeled me back in.
They're really halting attempts at the early versions of Secret Lair in that there's just the cards. Like and they don't really do much. There's no set or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think that is ultimately why, because I was just
on
like,
the Universes Beyond.
Yeah, the universe is beyond. Like, I know people complained about Secret Lair and whatnot, but I love the universe is beyond.
I mean, those 40K decks sitting on my shelf back there are some of my favorite stuff.
Another Blitzball. Ooh.
What the shit is this thing? Okay.
Gyat, King of the Dwarves.
Gyat.
Poison the waters from my favorite little terror. Ooh, I pulled Masamune. That's very fun. I remember not being thrilled about the card effect, but Ring of
That's because it's the
Lucille.
Final Fantasy VII Masamune and not the far superior Chrono Trigger Masamune.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they're never going to do anything with Chrono Trigger ever again, so it's like...
I know.
Yeah, as long as equipped creature is attacking, it has first strike and must be blocked if able. Equipped creature has, if creature dying causes a triggered ability of this creature or an emblem you own to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So it is cool, but I doubt in this format I'll be able to do anything with it.
I mean, you'd want to be building around using that.
Yeah. John?
Yeah, well, I've got another uncommon legendary, but this one, I love Rocco, the Cabretti Caterer. He is amazing. You get to do Naya and X, and when he comes into play, if you cast him, search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less and put it onto the battlefield. So I get to just tutor up and put into play a guy as my commander. Also, get a Topiary Stomper, so 4/4 Vigilance for 3 that gives me a land, but it can't attack or block unless I have 7 or more lands. So until it comes online, it's just ramp, but once I have ramped, I get a decent little attacker. And then a few more white cards that are good for guys coming into play, so it's looking like a theme is coming together.
Hey, love to see that. Love to hear that. And Jeff?
Oh, I got a neat one. I'm not sure if it's a good card or not. I'm sure the chat will tell me whether it's a quarter rare or not. But the reality chip looks amazingly fun.
Oh, dude, reality chip was bonkers.
It's 1 blue for a legendary artifact creature equipment jellyfish. You may look at the top. You may look at it's a 0/4. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as it's attached to a creature, you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library, and you can reconfigure, which is to turn it from a creature into an equipment and equip it for 2 and blue.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool. I like that a lot.
I like it a lot. It's thematically interesting. It's got a great cyberpunk vibe to it. Playing off the top of your library is incredibly cool. The fact that you can wait to see whether or not you want to play stuff off the top of your library and then switch it from creature to thing is neat. So I'm pretty sure that's going to end up in the 99. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like anything greebly like that just has like a ton of weird little options.
Yeah.
Oh, Yuffie! Hey!
Hey.
There's one of my friends.
Oh, that's a nice little card. I like that. Classic
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII original art.
Yeah, the full art cards in this set, I think, are mostly really good.
She's so
Most.
good in Rebirth. Or no, wait, I'm
I
sorry.
haven't gotten
Whatever
to
the second one's called.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
gotten to the second one yet. Mainly because I heard like kind of middling things, and I was so blown away by the first one.
I love that you just keep opening swords. You have so many swords.
This is a sword-heavy set.
Yeah.
A fine hound. Tifa. Okay, here we go. Not a particularly valuable Tifa, but it's Tifa.
Hey man, landfall always fun.
Another dual land. Some moody Final Fantasy X art. And we're on to Jon.
Well, I got a great rare for the theme that I'm doing in Rabble Rousing. So it's got Hideaway 5, so when it comes into play, I can look at the top 5 cards in my deck, put one face down in exile and the rest on the bottom of the deck, and then whenever I attack with one or more creatures, I create that many 1/1 green-white citizens. And then if I control 10 or more creatures, I can just play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So whatever I put in there, I can just get for free. So
Ooh, I like that.
doing the rabble rousing nonsense. Lots of citizens.
I like you having a citizen theme over there.
Yeah, it's fun.
Jeff?
Not much going on here in this set. All of the rares and uncommons are red, so not really in my soul type build. I do like March of Reckless Joy. It's a neat spell. It's another part of that cycle of pay X and in your color, and then you can exile cards from hand.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a secluded courtyard, which will probably end up one of my land drops. You choose it when it enters the battlefield. You choose a creature type. You can either tap for colorless or tap for any color to cast a creature spell of the chosen type, or to activate an ability of the creature card of the chosen type.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
that feels like it's going to be pretty dangerous.
There's a lot of ninja in this build so far, so it's probably going to be a card to power up ninja and ninjutsu abilities.
Sure. All right. And we're back here. It is actually amazing how much thicker the plastic is on this than the Dragon Storm or whatever I was opening before. Okay. Golbez, hell yeah.
Ooh, gold
Dude
baz.
rules.
And Jekt. All right. The worst dad. And I got Hollow Commune with Beavers.
You gotta get those hollow beavers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have been playing Final Fantasy Dissidia recently, and everybody's kind of like facing their worst, genocidal, world-ending villains, and Tidus has Jekt as his foil. So
Yeah.
it's just like you've got on one side Kefka, who's like, yes, I ruined one world, and now I want to ruin all the universes. And fucking Jekt is like, I'm a shitty dad. And Tidus
I'm
is
kinda-
like, I want to kill my shitty dad so goddamn bad.
Yeah, because he's not even the Sin. He's just Jekt. The best thing he can come up with is, I'm a little better at Blitzball than you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and Tidus's whole thing, the reason why he wants to murder his father, that is explicitly his goal, is like, yeah, I never acknowledged that I'm strong. Fucking hilarious.
At least they have a thematic connection. Like, the worst one for me is always 5, where you're like, I can't come up with what Bart's has against X Death. It's a haunted ghost tree that too many demons died in or something, and now it hates a bunch of people. But why would Bart's care other than generically, I gotta save the world?
Sure,
There's just nothing going on.
I mean, well, that's the interesting thing about 10 is like Tidus, even as our perspective character, was not the person really driving the save the world story.
Yeah, that's a 10 thing and a 12 thing, where theoretically the main character is Vaughn, but who gives a shit about Vaughn?
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
That game
John.
should have starred Balthier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got Anaya sorcery to deal 3 damage to each non-token creature. So, if I'm creating a lot of citizen tokens, I can blow up a bunch of other things. But, not a ton of stuff that I haven't seen before in this one.
Fair enough. We'll move down to Jeff.
Happy to report that I've got a Prosperous Thief, a 2 blue for a human ninja with ninjutsu, and whenever I think we've already done that one, so that's going to go in. But the rare drop is a land I didn't have yet, a legendary land called Takanuma, the Abandoned Mire. It taps for black, and then it has channel, 3 in black, discard it, mill 3 cards, and then return a creature or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. This costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control. So if you think you got rid of my Tamio, here she is again.
Wow.
And it doesn't even enter the battlefield tap. So unless I need to pull that trick off, it's just a swamp. I love it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you, Russ, for pointing out how insane Jekt is. God, what causes him to transform? Whenever Jekt deals combat damage to a player, you may exile it and then return to the battlefield transformed. Wow.
Oh, I just realized this is a double rare pack. There's a foil mirror box in here. The legend rule doesn't apply to permanents you control. Who cares? It's commander.
Sure.
Each legendary creature you control gets +1/+1. Each non-token creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control with the same name as that creature. So it's not great, but it is an anthem for Legends. It's something. I mean, if you were running a deck that was full of duplications, it would probably be pretty good.
Sure. Well, I mean, I think this set was heavy on duplications.
Yeah.
A lot of the Kamigawa stuff was like heavy on Legends and heavy on duplications within Legends. I think that's where Mirror Mask or whatever it is from. Or no, that might have been the original Kamigawa. Okay, Gaius. Self-destruct. A Phoenix down. That's kind of exciting to see. The Lunar Whale.
Oh, hell yeah, Lunar Whale.
More Final Fantasy IV good stuff.
Got that legendary vehicle.
Oh, that is pretty neat. Hollows are kind of, well, that's, hollows are underwhelming, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to go on to John here.
Not a whole lot. I did get Hold for Ransom, which I think is hilarious, because it's basically a pacifism that you put onto a creature, but the creature's controller can pay 7 to have you sacrifice the enchantment, and then they draw a card.
Oh. Okay.
So that's just funny.
That is funny. Jeff, do you have any little bits of comedy for us?
Don't have any comedy. I'm sorry. I do have cards to talk about.
God damn it.
Boo.
Jeff's deck
I'm
keeps
sorry.
getting better and better.
I'm getting good here, guys. I'm going to turn this over to experts and let them turn it into a real deck, have it proxy printed, and then kick your asses with it. Is what's going to happen.
Sure.
But I've got a good saga, The Long Reach of Night.
Thanks for hanging out, Russ.
Oh, Russ taking off? Russ, it was good to see you, bud. I'm so jealous of his NyQuil. Oh, and Darcy's here.
Darcy! I didn't see that
God.
Darcy was here.
What the heck? It's all my favorite people.
And also, I'm here.
We just love to see packs get opened.
Yeah.
Just love it.
Darcy, I got to say, feather in your cap on acquiring all the WotC leftovers. Okay, let's see.
I mean, I don't know how much of a feather it is. I don't want to start fights, but
I feel like it literally is nothing but a feather in a cap. Like that was the whole point of it. It was a flex.
Well, that's the thing. I have my opinions. It feels like every person that they acquired from WotC, they already had somebody who did that over at Darrington. So I really wonder what they're making them do.
Yeah, the theory that I see the most in the discords I hang out in for designers is that the intention is to keep those. I mean, and I feel terrible now for having this inside baseball conversation in front of someone who's even tangentially connected. Is that they're going to be there for like a year to help onboard some people who already do the jobs? Like,
oh, you know, I actually don't hate that theory. That's
See, I heard that they were putting them in a giant hamster wheel and that they were providing power for the building.
Ooh.
Anyway, the Long Reach of Night, awesome saga. It's 1 and 2 points on the saga are both each opponent sacrifices a creature unless they discard a card. And then the 3 is to exile it and return it to the battlefield transformed into the Animus of Night's Reach, which is a 0/4 menace with +X/+0 until end of turn when it attacks, where X is the number of creature cards in the defending player's graveyard.
Love it.
Yeah, it's just a fun little drop. And then Assassin's Ink, targeted removal. Love this. It's 2 black instant. Costs 1 less to cast if you control an artifact and 1 less to cast if you have an enchantment. And it's destroy target creature or planeswalker.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty useful.
Yeah. Quick removal, either expensive or cheap as you handle it. So this is just a utility set, but there's a lot of good utility in it.
Excellent.
Oh, there's more stuff to modify. The Bearer of Memory is here to put 1/1 counters on enchantment creatures and give them trample.
The Bear of Memory.
The Bearer of Memory. That said, people in my discords and stuff are not my Discord specifically, but the ones I hang out in are absolutely thrilled with Daggerheart. I hear nothing but good stuff about it.
I am excited to check it out.
Yeah. I'll say nothing but good stuff and constant demands for an artificer equivalent. There's so much of that.
It's very funny how and this I feel like is one of the things that 4th edition suffered from is everybody wants the game to be the complex behemoth that they've been used to. So it's like, no, I don't want the normal classes. Give me the weird ones.
Well, yeah, and honestly, Artificer's always in a weird spot because nowadays it's the first class added to D&D after the base roster.
It's not your Sid, but it's a Sid.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's Final Fantasy IV Sid. Too bad Russ just left. That would have been his
Big
favorite.
Beardo Sid.
I don't think Darcy needs to come to California. I'm happy to go to. Are you still up in what was
Colorado.
that? Colorado. Oh,
yep.
Okay. So no. All right.
Colorado.
I'll go to Colorado.
Yeah, Denver, baby.
I've got family there.
I got Ultima, which I'm actually very excited about. It would be impossible to play in this format, but I'm pleased to have pulled that. Got a shiny weapons vendor.
I've got a cousin in Denver, and he's one of my favorite stories because he called me once to say, "Hey, did you write a cocktail guide book?" And I was like, "Oh, I did." And he said, "I just got it as a wedding present from my husband. He has never heard of you." So it was just pure coincidence.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
John?
I got 2 copies of the same Esper Legendary guy. Great. Love that for me. Just not a whole lot of nothing in this pack.
I am so sorry for you, John.
It is amazing how much I have opened where I'm just like, all right.
Jeff.
Not much going on here. Most of the cards I already have. This is going to happen as you're making your way down.
Yeah.
I do like Discover the Impossible. It's a dig card in blue for this set, which is 2 in a blue for an instant of look at the top 5 cards of your library, exile one of them face down, put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. You can cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost if the cost is 2 or less.
Ooh.
If not, you just put it into your hand. So
Nice.
it's a nice little go look for a card and see if you can find a solution type of thing. Also, I got to say, that's some, shall we say, very Yonic card art.
You are not wrong.
Yeah.
You know, we love to see it. We love to see it.
I haven't really read the high-speed hover bike
yet. You never do.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I like it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I am starting to see so many repeats. Oh. Oh, here we go. Hero of Light.
Blades of Light.
Blades of Light.
Love the Hero of Light. That's a classic Final Fantasy thing.
Man,
Yeah.
so final. Such fantasy.
Very yes. Very Moogle.
Ooh, Arden the Usurper.
Arden.
Arden.
I hardly know him.
Yeah, so you blew that too early. You forced it before, and now when you had a really great opportunity, it didn't hit as hard.
Well, he's always blowing it too early. You know what I'm saying.
That's my first time doing an I hardly know joke tonight.
Oh, well, then I guess you actually should have been quicker to pounce because John took it. Or no,
Yeah.
it was the chat. Chat did it.
No, I always take it. It was me in chat.
Oh,
I got like 40. I feel like I got like 45 windows to keep open. I don't know how streamers do this and are also funny. Oh, wait, they usually aren't. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every time I've seen like a pack opening stream, it has been fairly dull. But when you see them like edited down to just the exciting pulls.
Sure.
But you also need to know the set well enough to be excited about a good card when you pull it. Which that's not happening over here. I'm only getting excited when I see my friends.
Yeah, and this is my first time cracking Neon Kamigawa. I knew like 3 cards from it, and I've already seen all 3 of them. Oh, that's not true. I haven't seen the Wandering Emperor.
Well, over on my poll, if I want to do, like, I'm going back and forth between green, white, and red or green, white, and blue. If I do the blue, I do have the charm for that set and an offer you can't refuse, which is also a great counter spell. So, I've got some options.
Yeah,
But
and I've got
insane.
There's good stuff here for me. Behold the Unspeakable is a saga that does a bunch of stuff. I don't want to explain it. It turns into it's a flip saga. Futurist Operative I like. I'm not quite sure what's going on with this character theme wise. As long as it's tapped, it's a human citizen with base power and toughness 1/1 that can't be blocked. Otherwise, if it's untapped, it's a 3/4 human ninja. I'm still not quite sure what the point of that is, and you can untap it for 2 and blue at any time. It's not a 2. So if you have a trick where you can put a tap to cause effect on this thing, you can keep doing it over and over again for as long as you have 2 and blue.
Sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's got to be part of like a long chain combo that was.
Yeah, there's got to be tech to
that
this
set.
thing that I don't know about. There's also a good land here.
I think that is actually the fun thing about pulling from a set that you've never seen before, especially in a format like this, where you get to discover.
Yeah, I only knew a few cards from New Capenna, and I have not seen a lot of them.
Jeff, you are up if you.
No, he already went through his
that
entire
was me.
pack.
Yep. Okay.
That
Great.
was me. I mean, I did mention the Dismal Backwater being one of the lands in here. It's just a dual land that enters tapped and gains you a life, but it's in my colors, so that's nice.
Probably going in. Yep.
Yep.
All right, here. Oh yeah, Undercity Dire Rat. Another sword, love to see it. Another sword.
What? Everybody loves swords.
Ooh, crystal fragments. Midgar. Ooh, the full art Midgar. That's fun.
Can't you hear the planet crying out?
Can you hear the planet sing?
Singing the song of angry planets.
Man, Les Avalanches would be a pretty great musical, honestly. I'd watch that.
Honestly, yeah.
You know what?
Nerds
Yeah.
get on it.
Yeah.
Nerds, hey, what up?
Let me just turn this chair around. How come you haven't written a Les Mis style musical that stars Barrett?
Come on. What are we even doing here?
Yeah.
It's just like musically informed by Les Mis, but I would much rather be going through the Final Fantasy
Empty
storyline.
chocobos at empty stables.
And I am Hojo, and you know what that means.
John?
Well, I think I might have to go with the white, green, and red because I've got both the Cabretti Charm and the Cabretti Ascendancy in this pack. So the Ascendancy is an enchantment that lets me, during my upkeep, look at the top card of my library. If it's a creature or planeswalker, I can put it in my hand. If I don't put it into my hand, I can just put it on the bottom, so I'm essentially scrying or drawing every turn. So useful for that. Looks like I am almost certainly going to be in the old Cabretti clan.
Very nice.
I still don't know enough about any of my cards to know which way I'm going, but I love that people are settling in. Jeff.
Not much to report. The Reckoner Bankbuster is my rare. I have this in my Katsumasa the Reanimator deck. And it's just a vehicle that comes along with charge counters you can use to buy pilots who can fly it. But that said, Acquisition Octopus is definitely going in my deck purely on name recognition. I mean, it's an artifact creature equipment octopus, so it kind of merges up with the reality chip. And whenever it or an equipped player, because it's both things, deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. Pretty straightforward.
Okay.
And in a deck that's got so much ninjutsu and menace, like it'll make its money back.
Yeah. That's good. I
Fan of
have
that,
been
so there you go.
reading Hero of Light. Hero of Light is actually pretty nuts. It's based on Adeline Resplendent Cathar. So its power is equal to the number of creatures you control, which for mono white, like that's pretty doable. And whenever you attack for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. So it can buff itself, just fill the board, and coming in for only 3 mana. That's a contender for sure.
Very good.
All right. So many duplicates at this point.
Yeah, this goes really quick towards the end, doesn't it?
Yeah. I will say, I'll just go ahead and talk about Commander in general then. I am such a fan of the new bracket
Just got
system.
Very excited about that.
You know, the old, like, oh, we're going to rank our decks from 1 to 10 was just trash because everyone
gonna
was
rank
like,
them
my
7?
deck is a 7.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't matter what your deck was. It was always a 7. Now, at least that they have guidelines for it and specific, like, game changer cards that you're not allowed to have in the low brackets, I was like, this is great. Because instead of banning things, you were like, oh, well, we'll just put certain things where you can only have it in higher end stuff. And then, you know, you can only have so many at, like, bracket 3. It's a nice thing. It's one of the few goofity things that Magic did that I appreciate. And I also appreciated them fully banning the Dockside Extortionist because fuck that guy.
Yeah, well, it just makes me want to go through and figure out what, like, the couple decks I built that I care about, the bracket for them would be. Like, I have no idea, like, what my sliver deck is. Beyond expensive as shit, is it in a high bracket or not? I assume it is just because it's probably got a couple old random good pieces, like a Cavern of Souls or whatever in it.
I mean, even then, most of the game changer cards are like cheap tutors and stuff like that. So honestly,
Right.
your sliver deck's probably like bracket 2 or 3 maybe.
Yeah.
Next pack for me is I got again a Cabretti Charm and Cabretti Ascendancy, so just really going all in on that shit.
Reinforcement.
Full reinforced.
All right, and
Oh,
Jeff.
and I got,
Oh,
yeah,
see
I
you,
got
Darcy. Sorry.
no worries. I got a Nezumi Prowler as the only thing that's of relevance here for what I'm trying to work on. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it's got ninjutsu one in black. It's a 3/1 rat ninja. When it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gains death touch and lifelink until end of turn. More stuff rewarding a ninjutsu style build.
Nuts. It's nuts how cohesive yours is.
Yeah, it's really coming together. I don't know if I'm gonna have time tonight to build this thing, but I'm definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this might just be opening, which is fine.
I'm gonna clean up the pile and toss it to the boys in my Discord's card deck where they're all the boys and girls and those who have transcended the
The
limitations
boys and girls
of
of
both.
rock and roll.
Yeah, and let them turn this into a pile because it seems like it's gonna be a really good one.
I got Locke. More of my friends are showing up.
Hey, Locke,
Oh.
nice.
Everybody loves Locke.
And Barrett. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I haven't seen a Locke card yet. Does he like champion a creature or something? Is that how they deal
He's
with his
Death
whole, like-
Touch and Lifelink. Whenever Locke deals combat damage to a player, draw a card and then discard a card. So
Yeah. He loots.
He loots. Sure, he's a treasure hunter. That's
Yeah.
fine. I was going in on his pathological obsession to protect every woman he meets.
sure, yes. Ooh, summon Anima. That's pretty cool too. X Death. Hell yeah. Hell
Freaking
yeah.
haunted
I'm
tree.
loving the pulls that I'm getting here.
Do I have anything that matters? Let's see. Yeah, I guess Gravelighter's kind of cool.
Oh, I got
And-
a great thing in my pack.
Well, let's turn it over to you to talk about that, John.
There you go.
I can find my fucking cursor. Oh my god. There we go.
Why
I
don't you
got
simply summon Cursor?
the Bootlegger's Stash, which is a little expensive for an artifact, but 5 and a green, and it's just lands you control have tap, create a treasure token.
Oh,
Oh my god.
what the? Seriously?
Yeah, it fucking rules. I
That's
was like,
so
oh, holy
great.
shit.
what? Fuck. I want that for my dragon deck. That's amazing.
No, it's absolutely fucking incredible, and I'm like, hey, nice. Still not a legendary, but I'll take it because that rules.
Yeah. Wow. And Jeff.
I got Azusa's Many Journeys, which is a saga. The first one is you may have played an additional land this turn, which I always like. And it's one of those cards that it's a flip card. It's a part of that cycle from here. Turns into Likeness of the Seeker, which is a human monk. And whenever it becomes blocked, you untap up to 3 lands you control. So if you can trick people into blocking this guy, you can get some extra value out of him. So that's kind of neat. And then Gravelighter, 2 and a black for a flying spirit with when it enters the battlefield, draw a card if a creature died this turn. Otherwise, every player sacrifices a creature, which I love.
Excellent.
I keep meaning to
Ooh,
invite Darcy
Ifrit.
to come to you on the show for something or other.
I mean, the
Something
problem
or
is
other.
Invisible Sun was a thing. We gotta check out Darcy's schedule and see if we can make that happen.
Oh, I mean, I'd be happy to have Darcy come along and talk about Daggerheart if she wants.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Or hell, for the Queen. I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
Didn't we already do that?
Yes, and that's not Darcy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Darcy.
Okay.
Well, Darcy's technically working marketing for
distributing for the Queen, which is why I got
Distributing.
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. We already had Alex on to talk about For the Queen. Okay.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
Okay, kind of an underwhelming pack there.
Mm.
And John?
That's fine. I've got kind of an underwhelming pack as well. But I did get a witty roast master, so I got a guy that deals damage to each opponent whenever a creature enters under my control. So just, getting some pings for putting out citizens.
And Jeff.
Extremely passable. Nothing I'm going to care about here other than some commons that happen to reward the whole modified playset. You've got an enchantment aura that destroys target creatures and opponent controls when it enters the battlefield and puts a +1/+1 on someone. And Heir of the Ancient Fang, one of the common drops for this build that is it comes in with a 1/1 counter if you control any modified creature. So it's a pretty straightforward little easy drop. So other than that, just not much. Extra copy of Tatsunari and nothing else.
Sure. All right.
We're in the home stretch, boys.
Last 6.
Boys.
Which is good because I think we might just be talking to each other now.
No, we actually, I don't know. I might need to refresh because that count might not be accurate for me. Okay. Resentful revelation. I got Squall!
Nice.
Yeah. I literally just built a deck around this version of Squall, so I'm very, very excited about this. I don't love the art they went with for this one, but there is a prettier Squall elsewhere in the set, so I can't be too mad. Rufus. Ooh, a side quest. Oh goodness. I think I've got a good one here. I've got Jill, Shiva's dominant. From what I've seen online, like cards with art like this are fairly valuable. So I'll bet that's a good one. Fang, not too impressive there. Fun basic land. Yeah, I'll read up on that card while I turn it over to John.
So for this one, I got a elf rogue that just taps to create treasure tokens, and then some more very thematic artifacts. I've got cement shoes as an equipment. Which
I love
equip
that.
creature gets +3/+3 and has at the beginning of your end step, tap this creature, and it doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. And then brass knuckles, which is 4, when it comes into play, you create a copy of it, and if a creature has 2 or more equipment attached to it, it has double strike. So if you can get 2 brass knuckles on a guy, he will double strike.
Okay. And Jeff, why does this cursor keep disappearing?
Just nothing. Just nothing I haven't seen before.
All
In
right.
fact, I had moved on to figuring out if any of this stuff is worth anything, and the closest I found is there's a single card in here worth more than $10, which is that weird swamp I mentioned earlier. Even that cool planeswalker, a mythic rare Tamio, is worth like $1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Coming back around to me, took a look at Jill. Jill is, I think, a fun card for a 99 and something containing blue. She's really annoying. When she enters, she returns permanents to hands, and she transforms. 2 of that prevents creatures from being blocked, or a creature from being blocked. And then the third one is tap all lands your opponents control, and then she flips back to Jill, and obviously will return a permanent for doing that. So really, really like fun card. I don't know that I would build a deck around it necessarily. Certainly fits with blues tendency to be extremely annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Fight on.
Fight like Al Jolson.
The Black Barn is filling up. Oh, Street Fighter 4. You needed a better voice announcer.
I got Zach.
Zach.
Oh, yeah. Zach Fair from 7. I don't have that window open, so I'm trying to remember these characters as you just say their names.
Traveling Chocobo, I think, is a desirable card. I know nothing about it. I will need to read up on it. Got a shiny Demon Wall and a shiny Dual Land. Love to see that.
So shiny.
All right. Gonna turn it over to John.
Oh, well. I got a Planeswalker in my colors.
Ooh.
I got Vivian on the Hunt. So I can +2 her to sack a creature and then go get a creature out of my deck that costs at least up to 1 more than that creature and put it onto the battlefield.
Oh, wow. And a
I
plus
can
2?
mill-
That's great.
For +1, I can mill 5 cards and put any creatures that I milled into my hand. And then for -1, I can just create a 4/4.
Okay. Yeah, 4/4 on -1 is not bad.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's the fact that you're on a plus going and being like, oh, I can transmute a creature into a different creature is phenomenal.
Chat, I'm here opening my own booster pack of a lot of old library books. And the oldest is from 1894. So that's pretty sick.
Nice get.
Wow. That's pretty great.
Jeff.
But is it hollow?
I
Is
got
it
nothing
hollow?
to report. This is a pretty boring one. There's the one of those cool saga that flips into a enchantment creature is here, the Long Reach of Night. But other than that, you're looking at the rare drop being a lizard equipment that's in red. That's kind of cool. It's 1 in red for a equipment lizard with double strike. That's a 1/1, but also equipped creature has double strike, reconfigure 2. So, a net cost of 4 to give something double strike. That's not a bad drop if I had been planning on running red. But
Sure.
Other than that, not much going on here.
I did look it up, and Traveling Chocobo is in this full art is going for about $43. So not
Wow.
Mm.
bad. Yeah.
Sell that shit.
I honestly because I pulled Yashtola the other day. Like I am looking at moving some Magic cards.
Oh, fuck yes. Oh, my next pack. Oh, I'm so happy.
Oh, hey, I'm glad that you're getting good pulls. All right. Another Resentful Revelation. Chocobo Kick.
Chocobo Punch.
Another Iron Giant. Vincent's Limit Break. I think I already had that one. Delivery Moogle. That's new to me. Opera Love Song. Here we go.
Hey.
Poo Poo UFO. Oh, that's actually a pretty cool 2-drop. You tap and you can put a land card from your hand into the battlefield.
Yeah, man, that's great.
Side quest play Blitz Ball. Here we go. That's what it's all
Please,
about.
That's main quest. Oh, fuck, a Genji glove? Come on.
Creature has double strike.
Oh yeah, that thing rules.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Genji
it
glove
absolutely rules.
whips
Fuck
ass.
yeah, that
Yeah.
rips. Oh my god, especially with Squall.
Yeah. No, I was like, ooh, I want Genji Glove for my Karlak deck.
I want it for my Sliver deck.
All right. So pretty good poll for me. All right. John, walk us through what is making you happy.
Well, I finally have a rare legendary in my colors.
No shit.
I pulled Ginny Fey Jetmir second. If I would create one or more tokens, I can instead create that many 2/2 green cats with haste or 3/1 dogs with vigilance.
Oh, I love that card.
Hell yeah.
So I can turn citizens into animals.
Citizens
But it's-
into dogs. Citizens into dogs.
But
Dogs are
it's
better.
Any token, so I can turn treasure tokens into them as well.
Oh my god. Especially when you can just tap for treasure tokens.
I can be like, oh, I'll just tap all of my lands and for treasure tokens and then just put a shitload of fast cats into play.
Now, why did King Midas not ask to be able to turn gold into dogs?
Hey,
Well, he
Let
was short
me-
on gold.
anything I touch turns into a dog.
Short on gold, long on dogs. Jeff?
I got nothing. At this point, I mean, the only thing I haven't seen before here is the web spinner cuff, which is one of those weird, hard to explain reconfigure cards, but not an amazing one. It grants reach to equipped creature as well as +1/+4. Or it's a 1/4 spider with reach.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
I got all my good shit out of the way early. I'm really just sort of cycling through till the end here.
You're just coasting.
Yeah, I'm just glad that in these last few packs I finally pulled some value.
Yeah, I am falling as John rises, and that's fine.
All right. Gaius, I already have Gaius. Ooh, Kane, Traitorous Dragoon.
Dragoon.
Now, how do they give him the jump ability? Does he phase every turn or something?
No, he gets flying.
Yeah.
okay.
Whenever Kane deals combat damage to a player, that player gains control of Kane. If they do, you draw that many cards, create that many tapped treasure tokens, then lose that much life. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's
He really does betray you.
Yeah. Fuck. And during your turn, Kane has flying. Honestly, that's a great card for the Confusion in the Ranks deck. Then we've got Cecil, which I'm pretty pleased with.
It's great to get them in the same pack.
Ah,
Honestly, yeah.
At this point, you also have Golbez and Tella, which means and Final Fantasy IV's Sid, which means you're getting really close to a really solid Final Fantasy IV block.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I got a shiny Barrett. Not the
Shiny
version of
Barrett.
Barrett that you want to be shiny, but not bad.
And the Lunar Whale. You really need like a Rosa or a Rydia.
What I need to do is play Final Fantasy IV.
Hmm.
I'm still making my way through 6 right now.
Making my way through 6.
I prefer 6. 4 is probably a tighter story. It is definitely worth playing.
I am loving 6 so far.
6 is my favorite. I would say 6 is probably my favorite game on the Super Nintendo. It is absolutely amazing.
More so than Chrono Trigger, right?
It is so hard to make a decision between those two. Don't make me choose. But
Yeah.
if you do, I'm gonna choose
children.
Final Fantasy 6. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, huge. High praise. I am loving it, so that makes total sense to me. John.
Nothing
doing?
really in this one. Just a lot of stuff for things I wouldn't be using. So, oh well. And even then, nothing particularly amazing, even out of the stuff that I wouldn't be using.
Sure.
Just
Yeah,
a sad pack overall.
I'm afraid to report that there's nothing I care about in this pack, or at least nothing I haven't seen before. There is a new card called Rabbit Battery, which makes me think appreciatively of vibrators, but nothing else.
Well,
Love
you
it
compare
whenever
with
my
that
packs
Yonic
make me
card
think
that
of
you got
vibrators.
earlier.
Yeah, there you go.
That's something. They got to pair well together.
It's just a red for a haste 1/1 rabbit that you can reconfigure for red into an equipment that gives a creature +1/+1 and haste.
Okay.
I mean, that's really good.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Another world map.
Hey, all right. Well, that's fun.
I still haven't played this Final Fantasy yet, so I don't
Which
know
one?
any of the one about bros going on a road trip.
15.
yeah.
Yeah, 15. 15
I
is
haven't played 15.
pure distill. I think it's what's that? Nomura making that one where someone's got to remind me who the current Final Fantasy guy is who is an expert at taking any story and making it about at least 4 sexy dudes. He's like the David Dakota of Final Fantasy.
I
He's-
don't hate that because they were about like sexy pixels earlier or sexy
Yeah.
polygons.
Yeah.
So we might just
But-
be appreciating that because of the current art style.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say because he's doing it to Kingdom Hearts right now, where Kingdom Hearts 4 is like gonna have a really strong sub theme of a bunch of random new sexy dudes that Sora needs to hang around with instead of Donald and Goofy.
Oh, that sucks. I hate
Yeah.
that. The point is his party's unfuckable.
I mean, literally, when he
yuckable.
put out Kingdom Hearts 3 and there were no Final Fantasy characters in it, he straight up said, "Oh well, yeah, I only needed those Final Fantasy characters to convince people to play the game. We don't need them anymore."
Sure.
And I'm like,
Ugh.
"No, you absolutely did, buddy. I'm not playing 3 now."
I did get in my pack another legendary rare in the color set that I was also considering,
Oh.
but he is less amazing. He just gets a shield counter on him, and then if I attack a player or planeswalker with 1 or more creatures with power 1 or less, draw a card. So, not as good as making a bunch of cats and dogs.
Sure. Turning to chat, would anyone care for a copy of Modern Hot Water Heating, Steam, and Gas Fitting? You know, I'm
Seems
into
pretty
gas
niche.
fitting.
Maybe for the 99.
Is it a
Jeff.
1-drop? Steam and gas. Oh, it's from 1918. Oh, that's very modern.
Ooh.
I'm really
Jeff-
more about postmodern hot water heating steam fittings.
Yeah, where you don't believe in the Steam.
Oh yeah, you probably want to know what's in my pack that's interesting.
Yeah.
There's 2 new legendaries. None of them are in color profile. If I was playing Orzhov, they would be. There's Naomi, Pillar of Order. She's 3 white-black for a legendary human advisor. When she enters the battlefield or attacks, if you control an artifact or enchantment, you create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with vigilance. And Greasefang. Greasefang's finally made an appearance.
Hey!
You got Greasefang. It
There he
happened. We
is.
finally got the rat.
Yeah, he really does not want to be a commander in this format because his deal is returning vehicle cards from your graveyard to your battlefield.
Oh,
Yes.
sure.
So unless you have a lot of vehicles, he's not doing much for you. And I think I've seen like 1.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah,
Just
that's
brutes. Yeah.
This set is definitely Final Fantasy is less synergistic, obviously, because they want you to play with everything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I would love to tech Greasefang. I would love to build him,
Sure.
but I don't think I'd be able to do it in this format. I mean, honestly, just because he's a rat riding a motorcycle, like a cyberpunk rat on a motorcycle is the coolest thing in the world.
Right.
All right. Last pull. Here we go.
Oh, I've got like 5 decks left. What happened here? Are there less than 36 packs in your thing?
Maybe. Is the format 36? What is this? You're not going to say.
Did you get
Says-
draft boosters or
I got play boosters.
play boosters?
Whatever. I'll just stop when you do.
I don't think they have draft boosters for Final Fantasy. I think it's just play boosters and collectors.
Yeah, they may have just gotten rid of
boosters.
that.
I love that our matching shirts make it look like we're wearing our official uniforms for the podcast, even though
It-
they clearly say Wizard Quest on them.
Well, that is our official uniform.
Yeah, we are Team Havoc.
Because you're Team Havoc for
Yeah.
life. You were Havoc when you were born.
And
I'll
listeners,
die Havoc.
if you want to be on Team Havoc, all you have to do is go to the Wisconsin Dells, go to Wizard Quest, and do the bad guy option of what is ultimately an interesting but kind of takes too long walk around and check your tablet game that costs too much money.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I do think some of the construction of the old site was better than the new site, which is unfortunate. But if you're doing stuff with kids, I think this will impress. It would impress children.
Yes, and these shirts, of course, impress everyone.
Yes. Yeah, I know many people in the audience just had to leave out of modesty.
Yeah. I wore this thing to the fair today, and people were flinging themselves at me. Several people died jumping off of the Ferris wheel trying to get at me.
I seen it.
Yep, it really happened.
We'll turn over to John. John, how is your last pack faring?
Well, I've got several last packs. I got
Sure.
an additional copy of the Ginny Fey. I got a crowbar specific to having citizens. It's the Citizens Crowbar.
Comrade.
Yep. It is, when you put it into play, you get a 1/1 citizen and immediately attach the crowbar to it, and the equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has tap, sacrifice the crowbar, destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Wow. Well, why don't you just run us through the last several packs that you had, if there's anything interesting in those, because they were kind of getting pretty spread out anyway.
Nothing particularly amazing. I got most of the tapped comes into play, tapped lands for my colors, so that's at least something. But yeah, I think I basically hit everything good I was going to get.
All right, and we're going to Jeff now.
Yeah, sure. Let's see here. We have, in the last pack that I was going to deal with, it actually came out pretty good for me. I have a a uncommon I've been waiting on this whole time, the Colossal Sky Turtle, for green, blue for an enchantment turtle with flying Ward 2 that is a 6/5.
Ooh.
And it has channel 2 in green to discard it and return target card from your graveyard to your hand, or channel 1 in blue, discard it and return target creature to its owner's hand.
Ooh.
And channel's, one of those like alternate cost, play this as an instant kind of deals. So it is a pretty solid like option for a lot of things. It does well just sitting in your hand. I also got Hidetsugu Devouring Chaos for a final legendary. He is an ogre demon. He costs 3 in black for a 4/4. You can pay black and sacrifice a creature to scry 2 while you have him on field. Or you can pay 2 in red, tap, and exile the top card of your library, and then you may play that card this turn. When you exile a non-land card this way, Hidetsugu deals damage equal to the exile card's mana value to any target. So he's pretty fun.
Sweet.
All right.
There wasn't much else when I scrolled down, just copies of stuff I already had. I think the only other thing when I scrolled down that I would probably consider including was a mech called the Mindlink mech, which is pretty solid. It's a flying 4/3 mech that when it becomes crewed for the first time each turn, it becomes a copy of target non-legendary creature that crewed it this turn, except it's 4/3. It's a vehicle artifact, and it has flying.
Wow.
I'm still not entirely sure what you do with that, other than having if it turns into something that's got a static effect that's happening on the field. Now you have 2 copies of it, so that is potentially something.
Okay. Well, I think I have a lot of card reading to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done here.
But definitely fun experience. I want to thank people for hanging out with us and supporting us on our One Shot 2025 Patreon drive. If you are looking to see some Commander actually played, tune in tomorrow. We've got the Exhibitionists. I am going to be subbing in for Tracy with Bugs, and I'm going to be playing Commander against, I think, people who know how to play Commander much better than me. Certainly Bugs, absolutely. But yeah, oh no, the thing that I do all the time when I play Commander, because I only play with you knuckleheads. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think I'm going to be running a Squall deck for that. So definitely tune in. It should be a lot of fun. I'm deep in the Final Fantasy stuff. These two idiots, the next time I see them, they're just going to be like run over by spiky-haired individuals.
And by the way,
so much animes.
If you want to encounter the next time we see each other, it's going to be because we're all at Comic Con San Diego in like a month.
Yeah, that's true.
Doing a show.
And then shortly after that, Gen Con.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And I've got my deadline for my book immediately after that. What the fuck?
And we're just hearing about a new book, so we're excited to get started pretty soon here.
Ooh.
We'll talk about it off stream.
Yeah, lots to look forward to there. Again, thanks everybody for hanging out. Hope to see you for the rest of this drive, and have a good one.